I've never noticed those air intakes in the wing roots before. Bomb bay doors are just starting to open there. Good view of the belly turret. Look at all the radiators for cooling the oil. I never knew this plane had so many air intakes. So big. And here's a B-29. That's look at all the emissions this thing's flowing on.
Quite a bit.
We could probably look it up off the tail number. Raising hell. We could get the tail number and look it up. They put a mesh in front of the engine here that was not on it when it was flying. That's for birds. You can see the fastener to put it on. Pretty solid. So we'll look this one up. 461535. Is that another one over there? These propellers are 17 feet from top to bottom. And this one looks like it had de-icing boots on it. I wonder if this was done afterwards. The leading edges of the propellers look like they have a de-icing boot on them. Oh, this is a 50. Yeah, the engines look a lot bigger. Do you think you're allowed over this little fence to look up in the stairs? You must be able to. I mean, why else would they have a staircase here? Oh, it's a little gutted back there. All the instrumentation's gone. Oh, here's the guy's seat right here. Oh, it's all still in there. There's his chair. This guy ran the throttles and the mixtures. This is the flight engineer station, and he sits facing backwards. Oh, everything's still in there. Look at that. Why does this say Canada on it? What's going on here? Canadian plane. It's an Avro. The Canuck. Oh, they got a B-58 Hustler over there with a bunch of stuff going on. This one looks like it's been on some missions. Got something on the side there. And it looks like they do tours in her. Parachute dropping stuff, eh? I wonder if this flew in Vietnam. Probably did. The flying box car, they called it. Oh, this one's got the, are these the little rocket pod assist things for taking off and This little pod right here, I believe, it's a jet assist. They only ran them for takeoff, I believe. Oh, and here's the back end of a B-58 Hustler that's somewhat disassembled. It's supposed to have 4 engines, and the outer ones are off. Flight control surfaces are completely off. Kind of interesting this way. You can see how the thing's built. Such a cool looking plane. Oh, there's the other engine. There's the covers and the cells. They must be out getting rebuilt, or what else is going on is that this airplane might be just being reassembled right now. If you notice, the concrete underneath the nose wheel looks awfully fresh. This airplane might just be getting put together right now. Because if you get one of these donated to your museum, nobody's flown. I don't think one of these has flown for a long time, and they would only move these on by ground. And if they took the whole thing apart, like this engine looks like it's been off, it looks like they're just putting it back on right now. And the engines are out, and they make the little covers in the nose there. Pretty cool. You can see these ones right in front of us here, how they're it's held on by 3 pins. The whole thing, 3 pins. And they're all, each pin is a different size. Moving on, it's a B-52, and this airfield trained B-52 pilots. This one has some kind of a scramjetty thing underneath here. Some type of a cruise missile. Looks pretty evil. Wow. I wonder how far that thing could go. All the B-52s that I see nowadays, they all have rippling in this area. They all take a lot of wear and tear and movement here. They all look like they've been bending right here. I should mention this aircraft is built by Boeing. I wonder why there's an indent in the wing right up there. There's another one over there. Must be a little opening there that's on it for... I know you get in and out of them right here. This is the door. That's the entry door. Couple of bombs. The Canadians are still flying this as the Snowbirds aircraft. T-37, and we call it the Tudor jet. These things are a lot bigger up close than they look in pictures, let me tell you. A lot bigger. Those nose gear tires are at least 4 feet high, and the gear leg looks like it's almost a foot thick. It's a very big airplane. Big aerial refueler. I believe it's the K-135. Another fine Boeing product. Something's missing from here. We got another F-4 Phantom that flew with the Thunderbirds. I like it. And a MiG. Everybody's got a MiG. And the F111. Oh, that looks so beautiful. Here's a little MiG-21. Doesn't that look cool? I love that plane. Look how much room in the nose for electronics. And they sit in side by side in this thing. I love the Voodoo. This one's got enough fuel to fly somewhere fun. Tomcat. This place is huge. And speaking of huge, like look at the size of the bomb next to that thing.
Yeah, we'll get around to that thing a bit.
That looks ridiculous.
Are those both just fresh in the fucking service?
Yeah. Both of them.
I know.
Those are the freshest planes here. This Starfighter, that one looks pretty cool. It's got a lot of extra fuel tanks on her. And here's an F-14. What a complicated plane. A very complicated missile system. And this one's got some extra stuff underneath the nose here. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a D model. So this is one of the last ones of these, Chris. This is a D model F-14. See all that thing under its nose there?
Yeah.
That's some advanced something. Don't know much about. This thing served for a long time.
That's disgusting. What was that?
These are based at Whitby for. Yeah, sure have a lot of these things around. The Thunder Chief. It's a 106, right? 105, sorry. Republic Thunder Chief. What happened to the Republic Aircraft Company? Who gobbled them up? Here's the 106. Delta Dart. They got a portable little tower over there.
Yeah.
Look at the cockpit on this thing. Looks cool, eh?
Oh, yeah.
It'd be pretty hot in the sun.
Drive over here. A spy plane.
Well, this one's set up to do some spying. Got some extra stuff in it. Oh yeah. Well, that's an F-18. That's not all that old. Yeah, and this thing can get refueled too. This, I don't think so, because the wings aren't raking. It's pretty neat looking.
North American RA-5.
This is the longest production run aircraft in the world is right here. The Lockheed C-130 Hercules. They still make them. They started making them in the 1950s. And I don't know how many, there's quite a few different models. This one's got huge extra fuel tanks. Huge. And it's got some kind of a FLIR system on the nose. This one looks like it's specially equipped to do something different. It's carrying a lot of fuel. Never seen one with that much fuel tanks on them. And we're heading over here. where there's a Blue Angels F-18. Seems a little young to retire one of these things. Thought they were rather expensive. We have a very cool little aircraft control tower over here. We'd like to get this, purchase this and bring it to work. Oh, wow. So let's see how complete this thing is. It's got those little pieces in it. It says Boeing F-18 Hornet. I thought McDonnell Douglas built these things, but I guess Boeing bought them. Missing the engines. Probably missing a bunch of stuff. How about a tracker? I've always liked these things. Oh, this one could drop torpedoes, obviously. Look at the size of that torpedo sitting there. Wait up, Chris. I'm coming, just hang on. Gotta have a look at this. Got a little power unit on one end. Oh yeah. Fire up the air conditioner. Little power. Oh, the door's locked. Oh, it's even got a radar. So this thing would have been attached to something like that portable radar over there. All right, an F-15 Eagle. So that was a Frontline fighter for about 40 years. There's still a bunch of them flying today. This thing is ginormous. Oh, they got that F-16 Eagle. I mean F-16 Falcon. It's an F-15 Eagle. And the F-16 Falcon. But this guy has got 2 jet engines, and so I guess a total of 4 jet engines and 6 massive propeller engines. The thing has 10 engines to lift stuff up. This is after the Second World War. It's got 4 jet engines and 6 huge prop engines. And it can drop really big things like this. Whatever this is, it's huge. It's called a Rascal, apparently. I can't describe how big this tail is. I mean, the bottom of the horizontal stabilizer is like 20 feet off the ground. The top looks like it's 50 feet. This thing is huge. And whatever this Rascal, what's going on here? We have some load instructions and how to service it. These wheels are like 4.5 feet high. And it goes into that huge space up there. A couple more doors open. The bomb bay doors are open on this thing. Let's have a look. That's a nuke?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, this is big. Holy. It's just open right up to the top skin. And they got these racks that could probably just mount racks of bombs. There's a huge space back there too. That's just a huge open space. All the nettings to keep birds out. But, oh, you know what? That would be where the crew could crawl. That tube there would be the crew crawling to the back. Whatever's in the tail. Be something back there. Let's go have a look. And that's probably pressurized, which would make it a lot warmer. Let's go have a look and see what's in the tail of this thing. Oh, this is a door. This whole second compartment looks like it's something. You know what? This almost looks like this. Weird. I wonder if it's a patch. Gosh, they're riveting forever to make this plane. Yep, there's a tail gunner. Actually, this is a radar controlled tail gun. Got quite a bit of radar stuff back there. Gosh, this thing's huge. We should get out of here because this place is going to close soon and there's an SR-71 still to look at. Let's have a quick look at the new. So it's got quite an opening back here. Something mounted back here. Oh, it's totally open all the way up there. It's like a big hollow something. There's a lot of things mounted back here. This looks like it's steel. It is. It's steel. You're saying this was a nuke? The whole center of it's hollow. Oh goodness, it is a nuke. So it's got a 3.5-inch cast? What does that mean? This is a nuclear bomb? Check it out, it's hollow. This is hollow. But it's open, that whole chamber is open there. So the nuclear weapon would fit. It's like they would undo it here and put the nuclear weapon in and do the tail back on, and something was in there.
Firing pin.
Probably had like the weapon part of it there, and maybe the firing part sat there and they could get at it. I don't know. But I'm sure you can research what the heck these things were. And I'm guessing this plane could drop a few of them. One or two?
Well, I think that is one.
Okay. We should get over to the SR before this place closes on us. So big. Don't know what it is yet. So you can always tell the Navy ones because all those ports on the side are for dropping markers and charges, right?
Yeah.
And instruments. This one's chock full of it, of anti-submarine stuff. Look at that big thing under the belly and all that blisters. This thing is chock full of electronics. Cobra from the Marines. Oh my goodness, a beaver over there. Oh, and here's an early radar plane as well. They got a DH-2 Beaver.
5 engines.
And a train going by that's so big it's got 5 engines. And that would be coming out of Long Beach containers. De Havilland Beaver. They built 2,500 of these. And many of them are still flying up in Canada, all over the place. They only built 2,500. These are pretty cool too. They built a lot of these. I think it's called the Cessna 337 or 336. Both models look the same. And this is the Vulcan. This isn't a British jet called the Vulcan. This was the British heavy bomber for many, many years. Atomic. There's 4 engines in the wing. Again, an interesting combination of adding a jet engine to a propeller airplane. this is the 6th Blackbird that we have seen on this trip. This one looks like an SR-71. Oh, she looks nice. Looks like an A model. It is. She's big. I've never seen one with the ailerons all the way down, both sides. It's almost like the flight controls aren't connected. Actually, they're all down some. They must be. No tail number on her, eh?
No, 160.
See how the whole thing is held together by screws?
Yeah.
You could just, they had to be able to replace pieces of it. They regularly had to replace panels. And you could just undo any part of it that had gotten screwed up or burned up or... I'm amazed that there's some round head rivets back here on a Mach 3 aircraft. I'm amazed. I'm also amazed that I'm seeing some of those little fasteners there. I mean, I've seen those on Cessnas. I've got a couple of those. Those little tiny fasteners, they're little quick release things. That panel would come off quite easily. Just wasn't expecting to see them on a Blackbird. You can see how thick the vertical stabilizers are. So the vertical stabilizers on this plane, you see how they tilt in together. That was a very early idea to diffuse radar. They were originally on the A-12 made straight vertical, and it was actually a Convair design from another company they were competing with that said, no, we're canting ours inwards for radar signature, and Lockheed said, oh, yeah, we'll do that too. So they did. And the fuselage length is mostly because of fuel tanks. It needed a lot of fuel. It couldn't carry any external. Well, actually it could, but they didn't. They've actually mounted all kinds of different things on these things. They flew them for over 30 years.